How you doing today, Ron?
I'm doing great.
We're here today to talk to you all about situational leadership. I like that term, situational leadership. Situational leadership was created in 1940, later developed into a model around 1970.
Yeah.
And was put together by two men by the name of Paul Hersey and
Kenny Blanchard.
Kenny Blanchard, I remember him. Remember 1 Minute Manager, right?
That's right.
And it's a very, very timeless tool. Again, it provides knowledge for all and leadership for all time.
Yes.
And Ron, I'd like for you just to kind of give us a little bit of information on it. But I'd like to go ahead and just let you know that this is one of the most sought after and most widely used curriculums in leadership management across the globe.
Around the world, yeah,
35 to 45,000 companies utilize situational leadership every single year.
Yeah.
And it is a very, very timeless tool. Did you know that 400 of the Fortune 500 companies have adopted this in their leadership and training curriculum?
Yes.
Wow. Out of 500 companies, 400 companies use it.
Yeah.
That says a lot about it.
Well, they're looking at rearranging their company's destiny.
Exactly.
And really, that's what
exactly.
we do. You know, situational leadership is a tool. It's timeless, as you mentioned. It's been in existence a long time. But the thing about it is it's fluid. You know, and how I describe situational leadership is this. Imagine you're in a 4-room house. You're in one room of the house way far away from me, and I'm in the farthest room from you. And I'm trying to communicate with you. Well, it would make more sense if I don't try to yell through all 4 walls, but come in the same room as you are and communicate. That's really, in a nutshell, what situational leadership is. It teaches you a model that you can use in 20 seconds or less to match your leadership style with someone else's readiness level for a task. It helps you, instead of hitting singles and doubles, it helps you hit home runs and grand slams.
Right.
It increases your batting average. And a quick analogy is this, and it's organized common sense, really. Let's imagine my wife says, "Hey, Ron, we want to go out to dinner." And I go, "Oh, yeah, let's go out to eat." She says, "Well, you got to get the baby ready." So, you know, you got a 15-month-old laying in a crib. So I gather the diaper and the wipes and the bottle, and I walk into the room, go over to the crib, and toss everything in the crib and say, "Hey, Susie, we're leaving in 5 minutes." Well,
that's funny.
She doesn't have the ability or the motivation to get ready, to get herself ready.
What's the likelihood she's going to be ready in 10, 15
We're probably
minutes,
not
right?
going to have the best results, right? Because
Exactly.
that doesn't make. But you know, in business, we do that every day. In sports teams, athletics, we do that every day.
Exactly.
That's the use of the wrong leadership style.
Exactly.
And utilization of the wrong style creates one of 3 things: anxiety, frustration, or even leads to hostility.
Right.
You ever heard of the term going postal?
Oh, yeah, we all have
That
heard of
came
one
about
before.
in the 70s, where post office workers that have been there for 20, 30, 40 years, and their supervisors still leaning over their shoulder telling them what to do, when to do, and how to do it.
Right.
Even though they could perform every task. And so what would happen, they said, "I've had enough. I'm going postal on you."
Exactly. I've heard that before.
You know, another analogy is, I could use my dad. You know, he went to the doctor one day, and my mom was with him, and the doctor said, "Well, I think your husband's got a small bit of dementia." Chemo that day, my mom took away all of my dad's privileges.
Right.
And you know, up until that day, he fed himself, he clothed himself, he made decisions on his own, he drove his car. I mean, he was functioning just like a regular human being.
Right.
But that particular day, my mom started using the wrong style of leadership on him. She started telling him where he could go, when he could go to bed, what he could eat, what he could drink, what he could wear. He could no longer go to church. She took away everything that was his being.
Wow.
And I saw this beginning to happen, and I went to my mom and said, "Mom, you're using the wrong style on my dad." It was too late, chemo. You know, within a year, my dad was in diapers and a vegetable. He'd given up hope. He'd given up life. And what that did was, she was in this room of the house. He was in this room of the house. She pulled him back to her.
Exactly.
That's called the regressive cycle. You don't want to do that.
Right.
You want people to keep living their lives as they're capable of doing.
And progressing going forward.
Correct. And now the regression cycle is a normal cycle that happens to all of us, with your grandparents, with your mom and dad. But the developmental cycle, if you look at it the other way, is with your kids. Learning to ride a bicycle, learning to strike a soccer ball,
Exactly.
catch a football, or a dance routine. It's
Exactly.
all in the developmental mode.
Exactly.
And if you keep using style one, especially when they become teenagers, you
Exactly.
say, because I said so,
Exactly.
then you got runaways, or you got kids listening to other kids who are giving them bad advice.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say that I because I said so anymore. That's the key to start saying, oh, I need to take a little bit of time and explain the why
Exactly.
of what's getting ready to happen.
So basically what you're doing is you're sort of matching, you're finding out where that follower is at.
For a task.
Exactly, for any given task. And you are basically matching, or you are meeting them
Bingo.
wherever they are.
Bingo.
And pulling them through that progressive cycle.
That's correct. Instead of you having them come to you. Like look at a football coach, a player running down the field, wide open. I mean, they beat their defender, so they must be good at it.
Exactly.
They drop the pass, and they come jogging over the sideline. What do you see some coaches do?
Well, I remember what my coach would do. He would basically grab you by the face mask and help you off the field.
Start jerking your chain and telling you next time
Exactly.
you do this and you do this, and you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, I need a hug. Dude, I just need a hug. I made a mistake. I don't need you to start giving me direction.
Exactly.
I need you to tell me, hey, everything's going to be fine. When you score next time, get your 15-yard penalty. And
Exactly.
enjoy
Dance in the end zone.
And enjoy
Right.
the moment. So that's the use of the proper leadership style.
Wow.
So if you want to learn more about situational leadership, Kimo, where do they go?
Contact us at coreleadershipcoachingduo.com.
Thanks, and y'all have a blessed day.